Hello, everyone. So, I'm just gonna free talk my take on what's been going on with society these days, with mostly with dating and coupling, which is actually, when you think about it, just about everything. You might say technological development, but I mean, come on. If we're not having babies, who cares about that, right? So, dating and coupling and having the next is everything, people. I hope we can kind of agree on that. And it's that way for every species. We don't live forever, so primarily we are concerned with having the next in our lineage, because that's the only way we continue, and it's how we got here. So let me talk about my smartphone. I hate this thing. I hate smartphones. And the reason is that it irritates. It demands. It's too demanding. And staring at the screen makes me dizzy if I'm standing up. And just all kinds of things. It's so demanding, like a baby. And I already done had my baby girl, and I don't want another thing dinging at me for attention. I stayed up to midnight, anytime, day or night, to be at the ready. Minuteman dad with the milk ready. I didn't, not my milk, you know what I mean, but I did that because, I know I might only have one baby, and that's okay. But I'm a feeder if she cries, right? So I done had that experience. I've had the experience of having a baby, and it's like I'm done with getting dinged in the middle of the night. Those were the only notifications I needed, right? And I'm still attached with my baby girl. I only want my notifications from her, or my daughter, I should say. But I'm showing you the level of endearment. And that's the only one, and my wife, in turn, also, that's the only one I need notifications from. How's my daughter? That's it. I do not want to be dinged and belled and whistled and vibrated because something needs my attention at any time. No. I'll go check, and maybe I'll respond within a day if somebody needs me to answer something. If I need to be in touch with somebody, I don't need to be dinged as if to get up and feed a baby. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to the crisis of dating, of men not approaching women anymore, let me tell you, I think it has everything to do with the smartphone, but that has escaped all of our attention because it's ubiquitous now. So we think now that the woman who has a smartphone today is the same kind of woman 10 or 20 years ago without a smartphone. And let me tell you, it's an entirely different kind of animal. It's a different animal, so to speak. It's almost a different demographic category. The woman who has a smartphone, which is virtually all women now in the West or in modern society, is not really the same kind of demographic, even for the same age group, as a woman who doesn't have a smartphone. It's just that there's no control group. But no, because virtually everyone has a smartphone, just like they can't really find a control group of people who haven't watched Corn. It's just ubiquitous now. So, look, the smartphone simulates the eating experience, the way you hold it in your hands. But more shockingly, and maybe more importantly than that, it simulates the pruning experience. Scrolling simulates pruning to the point where you're bonding with your phone as though it's a primate partner. Yeah, you're combing through its hair looking for something, aren't you? Well, that's what scrolling is to your, I don't want to say primitive, but to your, let's say, your baseline mind, your baseline, which is, we could call it primitive, but it's a very complex system, thinks that you're pruning a mate when you scroll through your phone and you're looking for something. And this is what women do too. So the modern woman is bonded to her smartphone by pruning and a simulated eating experience, and the dings and rings and bells and vibrations are like a mother answering to her baby. I'll tell you that. I do not turn on... When I first got this smartphone, after my smartphone broke some time ago from water damage or something or other, and I just didn't bother getting a new one. I used a desktop or a laptop if I needed to access the internet. And then when I got this smartphone, like a week ago, things popped up saying allow notifications. I'm like, don't allow. I've been fine without them. Don't allow. This thing does not ring. It does not ding. It does not notify me. It is not my baby. And I hate the time that I spend pruning it with my hands, looking for something and taking care of it. I hate that. And another thing I hate about my smartphone is looking for it when I lose it, because I'm not used to taking care of it like my baby. So sometimes I've noticed I'll just leave it somewhere and then, oh no, where's my smartphone? I hate that. That's one thing about the smartphone. You can't lose it, right? You gotta always know where it is, like your baby. It's like the thing simulates having a baby way too much, or a partner to prune. It's just really irritating. And so I turn off all the notifications. I don't care. I am not so important that people need to contact me instantly. As a matter of fact, more important people are a bit harder to contact. So paradoxically, I don't really mean to say that I consider myself important enough, I should say. I consider myself important enough not to answer your little dings at any time, day or night. That was for my daughter when she was a baby, which I gladly did, but I'm not going to answer your little dings in the middle of the night. I'm not going to, have a bottle ready. No, I'm not doing that. And, I'm not going to prune looking for your messages. I'm not going to bond to the phone. No, I'm not doing it. I don't take part in smartphone culture, but virtually all the women on the dating market have. So if what I'm saying about myself being so averse to the use of the smartphone just because it's so irritating to use from someone who's gotten used to not using one and not being dinged and belled and whistled all the time, and not having to prune it like a partner and simulate the eating experience in my hands, not touching it first thing in the morning as if I'm bonding to a partner. I can understand how the modern woman is a beast of a woman. Maybe beast is not the right word. I can't say anything. I'm walking on eggshells here. But she's not the woman. Like if you like myself came from a 2-parent intact nuclear family, with kids, multiple kids, it's like the smartphone woman of today that you're going to meet is not at all the same kind of woman that your father had when he met your mom, because your mom didn't have a smartphone, right? That's a different kind of woman. You can't expect that. That's why, that's the one thing that everybody has missed when they talk about why are men not approaching women anymore. The smartphone woman is a different kind of woman. She's she's already got a baby, in a way, and she's already pruning a partner and simulating the eating experience and pruning and grooming, I guess, all the time. And I think that phone, as a partner, blocks you out. And I first noticed this when someone close to me, a family member, was telling me about his, his dating life, which is, in comparison to 20 years ago, especially 30, 40 years ago, that's not dating. That's heathen X. That's just not, you don't have a dating life. But I told him, isn't the smartphone the nexus of all of this? Doesn't everything come in and out and go through and end and start from the smartphone? And he was like, yeah. So I told him, turn off your notifications. And if anybody sends you a message, don't reply for at least 24 hours and see what happens. Are you really going to lose anything? If you don't respond to somebody in 24 hours and then you lose something, is that really a loss? Or if something doesn't happen with that person because you didn't respond fast enough, is that a loss? I think just assuring a 24-hour wait period before you respond is enough to weed out a lot of the problems caused by the smartphone. And that brings me to another thing I really hate about the smartphone. It's the instant gratification. I notice when I've got it in my hands, I don't watch YouTube videos the same way that I do in a sitting setting. Like on a laptop or desktop. I scroll fast, and I actually, shorts are irritating to even want to click on a desktop, and because they're just too short. I usually listen to videos of a longer length while I'm doing something else, so there's no point in a short. But I realize when I'm on my smartphone, I click on the shorts. It's natural to scroll through shorts on the smartphone. That's almost like shorts and reels should be called smartphone vids. Or short attention span theater. Or people who've got rapid thumb motion theater, because something about having this thing in my hands with a pruning bond makes me feel like I've got to be using my thumbs to be moving through like the monkey hairs or the ape hairs or something. Like I'm pruning, I'm searching for something. And if I can't let my hands lay idle while I'm using this thing, I feel like I've got to message somebody. I feel like I've got to call somebody. And if I did turn on notifications, I know I would feel like I had to answer them instantly, like a crying baby in the middle of the night. Like, when my daughter was a baby, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be there and feed her. I don't want that with my phone. So, guys, that's the missing element. And another thing, part 2 of my talk, something that we've lost, especially in the age of the smartphone and corn, is that X is gross, vulgar, disgusting, not X-y in itself. And we've lost that. You know what a pornographer does? I'll tell you what a pornographer does. A pornographer sanitizes it for you, so you don't have to. Because real X is gross. It's like going to the bathroom in a way, and it's in need of sanitization. It is. Think about it. You've got fluids going every which way. You're swapping spit at the mouth. You're, it's related to childbirth. Like the same hole where gross little mucus covered baby comes out and the bloody placenta is ejected, and it's gross. It is. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a gross thing to actually do, and in civility, it requires sanitization. In other words, a clean, usually a bedroom, and clean up, and you may even use a polymer material to latex to stop the spread of germs. Okay, you're swapping germs, you're swapping spit, you're skin to skin contact, and you're gonna smell things, and you might get tired, you might get sores, you might be worn out. If you're older, you might have to catch your breath. It might take you a while. You know, I just, it's like there are so many things I mean when I say it's gross that it's almost impossible to enumerate them all. You're gonna smell, but I'm not saying that it's not an immersive experience that you shouldn't enjoy, but it is visceral. It's vulgar. You're exchanging things that in any other setting would be obscene, right? It needs its place. It needs to be sanitized. It needs to be taken care of. It needs its special place. People, it's like going to the bathroom. It's not to say that you don't enjoy going to the bathroom when you need to, but it's just that we've lost that sense of that sense that it is disgusting. Okay? It is. Can we bring that back? The smartphone doesn't allow anything disgusting really to go through the phone. There's no smell, there's no skin to skin, there's just this hard surface screen that you think you're trying to prune, but you never really find anything there, and smell. Why how can you have an experience without smell in some way? I mean, that isn't smell the ultimate smell and contact? Isn't that the ultimate experiential immersion? I mean, to me, it is. But you see, okay, vulgarity. You notice vulgarity is about God and base biological functions. It's both. Vulgarity is heavenly and it's heavenly and it's gross. It's both. Okay, these are paradox. It combines the two as a paradox. So vulgarity is about God and vulgarity is about effing. Both. And the smartphone removes the disgusting part. And so you've got this nice clean screen that you don't have to sanitize. You don't have to sanitize what's on the other side of the screen because it can't get through. You don't smell anything. You don't actually touch anything. You're not actually swapping anything. Nothing really biologically is happening to you except the simulation of a pruning experience, I think. And so we lost something, and I think that's why we've got characters like this Bonnie Blue and whoever it is, some Phillips or whatever. I only know about these people tangentially as I scroll through the YouTube. And we see they're getting grosser and grosser in their acts because we're missing the smell, we're missing the grossness, we're missing the fecundness of it, I'm not saying that, your act actually involves that, but it's close. It involves birth. It involves, and it's because we die. That's why we do it. The smartphone, I think, just sterilizes everything to the point where we hunger for something to be disgusted at. You know, it's almost like you can't really bond without some shared disgust between you and your partner that you accept. And see, that's why we have to have these. We keep upping the ante for these grosser and grosser acts by these stars. It's because we cannot, through the smartphone, through the sterile environment, we cannot satisfy our need for some level of disgust response that we've accepted and overcome, and some level of fecundness and acceptance of biology. The biology is just visceral and gross. I mean, think about it. You're inches away from things like kidneys and blood vessels and just, things that you would not touch. And yet, somehow modern culture is just trying to convince us that this is all clean and neat and exy and something you really want. But the act has to be vulgar. We have to accept both the heavenly and the biological parts and the fecundness of the act all at once, or it's not sacred. Did you notice vulgarity is sacred and biological? It's about God and raw bodies. It's both, people. What I'm trying to tell you is that men are not approaching women these days because the smartphone. The smartphone has made everything so cleanly that you're gonna disgust women. That's why they get the ick. The whole thing about getting the ick, it used to be something that was, I mean, I understand there are creepy guys and stuff, but see, when they get the ick, it's like, it's often for things that are just really immaterial things that shouldn't matter. But it's like because we've removed any acknowledgement of the ick, of the X act, women need something to be disgusted about. I think maybe that's why they love to get the ick early. It's because we've sanitized, in our minds at least, we've sanitized the X act so much that women want to feel ick. They're missing it. And yeah, this video is pretty long, but yeah, I'm not used to giving talks like this. I'm a pretty quiet guy, not a very good orator, but I have some thoughts that I can string together of various related things. Guys, the woman with a smartphone, believe me, she's not the woman that your father dated. Nope. No. And the smartphone age is not like any other age. I hate this thing. I hate to hold it in my hands. It's something that you so literally have and hold. It just almost replaces the partner. It's just, and the pruning experience and the baby to take care of. It's just so many things wrapped up into one that it may be the end of us, guys. And that's why I hate it. And it does not surprise me that men are not approaching women. Nightclubs are dying. Well, how can you approach a woman at a nightclub? See, a nightclub without smartphones is an entirely different kind of animal than a nightclub without smartphones. I mean, those are like day and night. How can you approach a woman with a smartphone? It's gonna be completely different from the days when you approached a woman without a smartphone. Just the act of having a camera everywhere you go, like a commonplace thing, and video has made things weird. It's a weird world now. We're like in sci-fi world, and it's, our culture. It's the end of culture as we knew it. So, just the notion of having a partner, the acceptance of the X act as something visceral that needs to be sanitized, and both sanitized and is sacred, both in one. Things like that are just, we don't have that anymore. It's like we've lost it. And we've replaced it with things like women just wanting to get the ick over nothing. Well, it's because they have not accepted that life is icky. Men are icky. Okay, we all are. But so are women, actually, when you think about it. It's bloody placentas ejected, and it's all gross, but it's how we're here, okay? We're just in this age where it's like, we even lose sight that that's why we're here, and that we have to for survival. It's just like, oh, you can if you want. And we've got to the point, like, kids are so whimsical. It's like, yeah, well, you want to have kids, you can wait as long as you want. We've got a technological IVF solution for that and everything. Just have your career, have kids if you want. It's all up to you. Actually, it's not. No. That's another thing that I want to get to. It's not all up to us. Consent is not all it takes to make it right. That's another thing we've lost. And consent, like between a man, here's a situation. Let's say you're a husband and wife, or man and wife, if you will, and you need a little bit more time to finish, right? Okay, not to be gross or something, but I mean, this does happen, right? What if you're like, wait, I'm almost done, and she's just bored, doesn't like it or whatever, but okay, so does that mean consent has been withdrawn and you better stop? I don't know, personally. I mean, I know the politically correct answer is, even if she's your wife and you need a little bit more time to get it out, stop. You're supposed to just stop instantly, because at that point it's become non-consensual. But I mean, she's your wife, and you're like, you already started this, and you just say, just wait, I'm almost done. And it's like, well, are you doing something wrong? I don't even know if that should be considered bad X, because, I mean, it's so common that might happen. Is it bad? Is it even bad X? I mean, you finish. Does every single moment in the X act have to be rapturous and enjoyable, completely enjoyable for both parties? For it to be consensual? I don't, or for it to even not be bad X? I don't know. I mean, is it that bad if you eventually finish and, okay, thanks. I mean, you don't even have to say thanks. It's just like, that's what we do. I had to, because that's how I feel. That's my body. That's working. Like, if you don't agree to this, it's just like, can we accept that things are like that? Can we accept that it's not rapturous enjoyment, it's biological, it's spasmodic, it's germy, it's involuntary spasms, it's just contractions, it's all these things that are far from the rapturous godlike experience of X. It's much closer to the fecund soil and the placenta and all of this. It just makes me mad, people. Yeah, eventually it just makes me mad. I wasn't mad when I started talking about this, but it makes me mad that that women have now seem godlike, as if they're not gross. They are. Well, and I think that that's part of the reason men aren't asking them out anymore. It's because they're too godlike. Like, where's the soil in this? Where's the acceptance that you swap germs, that he might take a little bit longer to finish than she likes and it's still not bad? Things like that. You know? Where's the acceptance that your smartphone is not your baby? Throw it away. Where's the acceptance that your smartphone is interfering with your life? Where's that? All right, people, thanks for watching or listening. Cheers.